Hello, this is Zoe Tant, the Tantalising Stamper. Today I'm going to show you how to make this pouch, which I shared with lots of people recently, that goes with a 6x6 one sheet wonder. So if you want to see the one sheet wonder, it's on my blog, but it's a very simple one using 6x6, and you can create 6 cards, and these are 3 of the ones that I made with it. I then flipped the paper and made these ones, which follow the same sort of design, slightly different, and they, of course they look different because of the papers. And then I put 3 with some stamped envelopes into a little pouch that I made, and lots of people asked me how to make the pouch, and it's a great idea because this month we have, in June 2023, we have 15% off selected designer series papers, DSPs, and so you can pick up a bargain. And this pack is called Masterfully Made. It's really beautiful. It has lots of colours, so you can suit everybody, and some really pretty patterns, as you can see from these cards. So I'm going to move those out of the way, and I'm going to show you how to make the pouch. So you need a full 12 by 12, although you can make this same pouch from 6 by 6 and upwards. You just need squares of paper. You want to put the design that you want on the inside facing you, and to start with, you fold it diagonally in half, and the better you can line up all the edges and points, the better pouch you will have. You want to try and get it, I haven't quite on that one, but I don't think it'll matter too much, hopefully. Let's see if we can improve it there. So if you use your bone folder to just burnish those folds, then open it up, and then you want to fold each side in to that diagonal line, and again get it as tidy as you can, so as near to the line and on the point as you can, and just fold it up to the line like so. And then again burnish the fold. Ooh, not quite got there. Never goes as well when you're on camera, does it? Just up to the line, and take that down there, and then turn it around and do the same on the opposite side. I'm not very happy with that, but it won't be the end of the world. Move that out so you can see what you're doing, and then bring this one in. Let's see if we can get this one a little bit more. That's better. On track. So you've got this, you can see where we're getting that pouch sort of effect there. And then from there, you want to take this up like this. And if you line this point up, which if I'd got it spot on would be a exact point. Let's make it easier so you can see. And you want to line it up on the score line that you created earlier. Now you can take it up there and just have a smaller pouch, but it depends what you want to put in. And I've found that if you try the biggest thing that's going to go in there, which will be my envelopes, so get those in. And then you can see it folds over the top, but at the same time you need to make sure it's got this depth here. So if we do the same with an envelope, so if we get that in, we can then decide how far up we want to go with this. And that's about as far. You can see where you can, nice thing with the envelopes is you can see as well, just through that little crack. So fold it up like that, burnish that one. And for anyone watching that's in the UK, I'm not sure where Hotel Chocolat send their chocolates now, but they do selector boxes, and I made these as gifts for my direct team at Christmas. and they've got 6 chocolates in, and they slot in really nicely when you use a 12 by 12. So if we just fold that over, if you're not sure about folding it over like that, what you can do is just fold it back on itself so that it lines up with this line. And again, get it as straight as you can down the score line here. Burnish it really well. And then that will tuck in there, and it will glue as well to hold the bag together. Then you take these sides and you bring those over. And again, it depends on your package and what you're putting in as to whether you bring them here or over here. So I know, having done this one before, that about there is going to work nicely for me. And again, on this side, bring this one over. There we go. So we've got our pouch now. Obviously, these are going to flap in the breeze if you don't do something with them. So I've tried different things. You can do it with double-sided tape. You can do it with Seal Plus. But the thing that I found that works the best is the wet glue. So I've got the Tombow multi-purpose glue. And obviously, you don't want it to ooze out too much. So this piece is going to be folded down, so it's fine to have the glue on here. And again, don't go too far down here because you're really just holding it down. So if you bring it... My glue doesn't want to play today. Let's get that. I now have sticky fingers. So if we just smush that about, you don't want too much. Want it to go down there, and then just hold it so that the pressure of the fold doesn't bring it off. Just let it mash for a couple of seconds. And then before you stick the other one down, I find if you put a little bit of glue on here, now this is the one you want to be careful on because you don't want it to ooze everywhere inside. So if you get a dot, make sure you splash it around, spread it out, and if necessary, take off any excess and pop that over there. So I'm not actually sticking the 2 inside pieces together. I'm just popping that over and hopefully catching them inside it. And again, just hold it for a couple of seconds. Let the glue mash. And then we'll do this last side. It's one of those, a bit of less is more really with the glue so that you don't get it oozing out the sides. There we go. Then what we would do is put our 3 cards and 3 envelopes. You can fit more, but the One Sheet Wonder makes 6 cards very nicely. So you could make 2 gifts with 3 cards and envelopes in each. And then you can either just turn that over at the top and it will just about cover. But I found if you actually bring it over a little bit further, and then again you can line up all the score lines so that it's nice and neat and tidy, and just pop that down. Now you could just glue that, you could put a belly band on it, but what I did was put a little design piece on. So I've got my circle that I've punched using the 2 3/8 circle punch, which is part of the Circle Sayings bundle at the moment in our 2023 catalogue. And then I'm going to just stamp a couple of leaves from the layering leaves set. Not forgetting rather, which I think I have, to get my For You in there. That's okay. And also I stamped some of these other leaves, and we can just pop those on. The great thing here is you can use up the pieces that you messed up earlier. Put a little bit of glue on. Tuck those down. Another one. Oh dear. I've left myself a bit tight there, haven't I? With the For You going on. And then we've got some of these nice little white twiggies that we can squeeze in there. And also one on the top, I think, just to break it up a little bit. Just being careful with the glue not to have oodles that you then end up in a terrible mess. So we can have that one on there. And then I also added a bow. And what I did was use 50 centimetres that I cut in half. So I've probably got about 16 inches cut in half. And then you can tie a double bow. It looks a bit more substantial. Ooh. Pull those down a little bit. And then we can trim it however we want it, whether you want dangly ends or not dangly ends. And then with a glue dot that can go on there. So if we I find sometimes it's easier if you put the knot onto the glue dot and then pull it off, and then maybe a second one just for good measure. And then we just let that, this baker's twine was around a card, so it's got some funny little quirks to it at the moment, but it'll settle down, I'm sure. And then on the one I did originally, which is here, I use some of the 3 or 4 glitter gems. But this one I thought I would add some iridescent pearls, and I've previously coloured these. If you've not done this before, you need an alcohol marker. If you use your big brush end, you want to do it very gently so that you don't mash up the nib of your pen. Just go round carefully and add the layers, and then you just need to let them dry, which I've done with these other ones. You can go back and add another layer as well just to darken it, but these have already dried because I did these a while ago. And then you can just add those in random places for a little bit more detail. I think we'll have 3 on there. Oops, oh dear, my finger's sticky from earlier. So put those out of the way, we'll get rid of this rubbish. And then, so that I could keep the envelope closed but not actually seal it all down so that someone has to rip it, I used some dimensionals to just hold it down, but over the, I've only got small ones, so if we put a few on, let's just gauge where it's going to be. So we want it on the lower half so that we can then tuck the flap underneath. So we're going to put these all around the bottom. Maybe a couple more, seeing as these are mini. There and there. And we can use this, ooh, not to take the whole thing off, but just to take the top layer of the backing paper. And then we can hold that down, line it up so it's nice and straight, and add that on there. And that then, once we fold that down, holds in place. So you end up with really nice pouches to put gifts in. You can put these cards in, as I said, chocolates, small packs of chocolates, maybe Reese's cups for my friends in the US. It's a really simple pouch, and it's a great way of using all your papers. We all sit on papers, but this is a really good way to package some things for people and make a small gift look even more wow.